Welcome back, YouTubers. Ryan here, back with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me. Today we're looking at Weyerbacher 17. This is their 17th anniversary ale. The description says it's a Saison Ale brewed with spices, and they list off orange peel, lemon peel, grapefruit peel, and pink peppercorns. 10.5%. So really an imperial Saison. So let's get this thing open, see how it is. Thanks to Chris for sending this one out to me. Yeah, definitely tell it's bottle conditioned beer. It's pouring out really hazy. Yeah, pours out a light gold. Can't really see anything through it. It's pretty opaque, and I got like less than a 1 finger of bright white head. Certainly see some alcohol legs, 10.5%. Certainly rather large for the style, but let's get the nose on it. Yeah, I mean, you get the extra ingredients right away. A huge citrus notes, big time. And you sort of get, if you really dig in, you can kind of get all three of them. Definitely smell that pink peppercorn. That's pretty distinct, kind of peppery note. You got some of that phenolic yeast ester character to it as well. You know, something you typically get of Saison. It's got some sweeter kind of bready notes, and then there's a little bit of a wheat character to it. Not detecting any of the alcohol, so it's well hidden on the nose. Hopefully it is in the taste. Let's dig in. Cheers. That's nice. It's first sip. That's pretty dangerous drinking beer. It drinks like, you know, your typical Belgian style Saison. You know, it's kind of got some of that definitely has that farmhouse character in the yeast. You can tell it's a bigger body though. It's got a little more mouthfeel than your typical Saison, which is usually kind of light to medium light. This one's a little more medium body in its character. Up front you get a lot of sweetness, sweet breadiness, some of that sort of caramel-esque kind of note, maybe like a, I don't know what kind of, it's not a caramel malt, but it's got some of that sweetness, kind of maybe like a melanoidin caramelization of the wort kind of note to it. There's some sweetness, you get some sweet citrus notes, like a sweeter orange peel, and then that kind of goes midway through the palate, and then transitions to a bit more of a bitter character. You get that bitter citrus, bitter grapefruit, a little bit of lemon, and then it finishes really nice and dry. That 10% kind of helps dry it out as well, because it's a little thicker and sweeter up front than your typical Saison. A lot of that yeast, spicy, phenolic, bit of like quasi-funk, not like a Brett funk, but that Belgian Saison kind of funkiness in the back end of the beer. Carbonation level is decent, but could use a bit more, especially with the increase in alcohol. You know, there's a little bit more residual kind of sugar character to it than your typical Saison. So I wish the carbonation was up to the really high Belgian standards. I think it would help clean out the palate more when you drink it, because it's not quite as drinkable as your typical like 6 to 7%, you know, farmhouse style ales, which, you know, you can just drink those real easy. This is a bit more of a sipper, but it's really well brewed beer. Getting just a touch more of the alcohol as it warms up, but not a lot. It's still dominated. I mean, it's a really citrusy Saison, so if you think you'd like all that citrus character, you're going to find it there. I don't know what kind of hops they're using, but they're probably using that to kind of help balance out along with the spices. The pink peppercorn's not overwhelming, but it does kind of add a little bit of a peppery note towards the back end, along with the kind of spicy yeast character. So overall, Weyerbacher 17 is getting a B+ for me. I think it's a really interesting beer. It's got some interesting flavors to it. You know, taking that Saison character, boosting it up, adding the additional spices. It works pretty well. Not the most drinkable one out there, but certainly recommended for me if you can get this Weyerbacher beer. And like the bigger Saisons, this one's definitely worth checking out. It's really good. It's got really good yeast character that kind of helps, you know, with the other elements they added in. If they didn't have that good kind of funky Belgian Saison yeast character, I don't think this beer would work out as well. but it does. So check it out. It's going to wrap it up. Until next time, please comment, subscribe. Cheers.